and then send it to you. It's something that made me laugh really hard. You've been telling people and no one has gotten it because I haven't played. I love Fire Emblem. I've played through all 3 of the 3DS ones on the hardest difficulty, which I've been getting progressively easier as it goes on, because Fire Emblem Awakening had Lunatic Plus mode, and then they took away Lunatic Plus for Fates and just had Lunatic. And then with Echoes, they thought that that was way too BS as well, and it's just normal hard mode for that. But yeah, so I've completed Fire Emblem Awakening on Lunatic Plus Classic mode. I've completed Fire Emblem Fates all 3 routes on Lunatic Classic mode. Oh, Conquest was so hard on Lunatic Classic mode. And I've completed Fire Emblem Echoes on Hard Classic mode, which was the easiest out of all of them by far, because it probably wasn't Lunatic mode. That's crazy. The hardest out of all of them was easily Fire Emblem Awakening Lunatic Plus Classic. Like, there's a reason they removed Lunatic Plus. The thing about Lunatic Plus Classic mode, and I did it without losing any units, so I didn't let anyone be sacrificed in the first 2 chapters. Now the thing is, after chapter 4, you get access to like whatever the gate thing is called that lets you do DLC, and then you can just grind. Then you can just like spam grinding to get to the rest there. So pretty much, like, once you are able to grind, what you do to just push through the rest of the game is you make Robin a sorcerer, get him Nosferatu, and grind him up to the point where he can use Arms Thrift with a 100% chance of not reducing the weapon durability, and he becomes a Nosferatu tank. So even though everyone in Lunatic Plus Classic mode does so much damage, he'll just heal back immediately using Nosferatu unlimited times, is what you do. And then like the whole rest of the game is easy. You just pair Robin with Chrom because you're required to bring Chrom in, and then you just breeze through the whole rest of it. Yet despite that, it was still the hardest out of the 3. Because until you get that DLC, like before you get access to that DLC with chapter 4, it is the hardest video game I have ever played in my entire life. Without a doubt. Not a single doubt in my mind about that. So, the route that you have to take, like not even an option, you have to take this when it comes to doing Lunatic Plus Classic mode. So I've already beaten it on Lunatic Classic mode, Fire Emblem Awakening. Like, you have to do that to unlock Lunatic Plus Classic mode. Now, the first 4 chapters you have to rely on Robin and Frederick, because Frederick is your already promoted unit, and you have to like make good use of his silver spear that he starts out with, or silver lance, and really conserve it, but also you have to rely on it. Now, in Lunatic Plus mode, enemies have the most BS skills that you can't even get access to. So, like, for example, your party, you can get skills like Luna, or it's like luck % chance to ignore like half of enemy's defense or something like that. I think Luna does. It's something about annulling defense. Or there's Vantage, where if you're less than half health, then you will attack first if the enemy attacks you. Your enemies get BS skills. They get Luna Plus, which is like Luna, but it has a 100% chance to activate every time. They get Vantage Plus, which means that they'll attack first every time no matter what. Their HP doesn't matter. So if you attack them, they will hit you before they go down and take off some of your health. They get Hawkeye, which gives them a 100% chance to hit. They get BS skills like that. So to make it through, you need to basically get every unit to safety except for Robin and Frederick. Is all the thing. Is that so lame? Yeah, I'm definitely never gonna do that on stream. What torture that was. But when you make your Robin, like, you can always choose like the boon, like the stat that you want to go up and the stat that you want to go down between like some of the stats. Now, ideally for like the best kind of run through like a regular playthrough of the game, you would usually want to get skill up so that you can activate like your skills a whole bunch more. Why was I saying Luna had a luck % chance to activate? It was skill, not luck. Anyway, you usually want skill to go up because then you can activate things like Ignis all the time, and it's great. But if you want to have any chance of getting through the first 4 chapters, you need to make Robin's Plus defense. Like, you have basically no choice but to do otherwise, unless you want to spend like the next several years trying to be the first few chapters, honestly. You need to make his plus defense, and his thing that he sucks at, probably skill. unfortunately. Like, it's such a bad Robin, but you need to rely on that to get through. Now, the thing about chapter 1 is there's a bunch of enemies there. You do have to use Chrom to take out a couple of enemies just because there's so many that surround you. And I should also mention that you do have to reset. It's not even the first chapter, it's the prologue, so there's technically 5 stages that you have to beat, not 4, even though it's 4 chapters, because there's prologue, and then chapter 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a bunch of enemies that start out kind of surrounding you, so you have to use Chrom to take out like 1 or 2, pretty much. And then you have to play it so safe. Like, you have to try to take on 1 enemy at a time, if you can, but that's usually not possible. Now, there's water on that map, so how you play it safe is lords, so like Chrom as the main character, and your character can both go across water tiles. Only 1 space at a time though, so you can only walk onto it if you're on the space directly next to it, and you can only move 1 space at a time from there each turn. So what you have to do is you have to pair like Liza with Chrom, Frederick with your Robin, and then you have to go onto the water. Like, there's 2 tiles of water, so there's the area up top, then there's the bridge over here, and then there's like the area down here, and all the enemies are here. And once you go into the area where they can like be ready to attack, or where they can attack you, then they'll come over immediately. So what you want to do is you want to get someone onto the water tile furthest away who's like really defensive, so that 1 dude comes in, gets a hit, and then everyone comes back, so like all their aggro is drawn now, so they will be moving no matter what. And then you can move to the other side of the water, and then they have to go all the way across the bridge to get you again. And then you can go up again, and they have to go all the way back up again. And what you do is you use Robin's Thunder to snipe them from the water as they're re-navigating, as you put different units on different sides for bait for that. And then eventually you'll take enough of them out, but you don't want to use too much of Thunder. You want to get like some regular weapon hits in, because you have to really conserve your Thunder, because it's very important in some of the later chapters. Now, the thing is, even if you do everything right, and you beat that chapter, these plays are too big brain for you. It's what I had to resort to beat that. But the thing is, even if you do everything perfectly and you beat the chapter, which takes a lot of resets and a lot of tries just as is, because it's very luck based on whether the enemies will kill you before you even get to the second phase where you do the water thing, you might still have to reset even if you beat it. Because, see, the thing is, to beat the later chapters, you need to have your Robin essentially be a better Frederick by then. So, like, the whole idea of Robin taking out a bunch of enemies is leveling him, making him like a second Frederick. So, if Robin doesn't gain like plus 10 defense in the prologue, reset, you have no chance in the later levels. Pretty much. I've seen some people take some routes where they only like level up Robin like 3 or 4 times and level him up in the later chapters, but I prefer to level him up like much more in the beginning and then rely on Frederick later when Robin's like a second Frederick basically. So I beat chapter 1 once and then took a few weeks trying to beat, or I beat the prologue once and then took several weeks, like over a month actually, trying to beat chapter 2, and I couldn't, to the point where I reset the whole save file and then retried the prologue so I could get more points of defense into my Robin. And I kept resetting that chapter even when I beat it until I got like plus 10 defense on my Robin. That's why you need defense as a boon on the Robin. Now, the next chapter is one against a whole bunch of Risen. That one isn't actually too bad. You might still have to reset it a few times because of BS skills for chapter 1, but it's not too bad, at least compared to everything else. Chapter 2, Shepherds, is the most difficult level I've ever played in any video game in my life. Even with like the plus 10 defense Robin, it took me weeks to beat that. It took me a very, very long time. There are only a like, especially if you don't want to lose anyone, like I wasn't going to lose anyone. There are only a handful of very specific tiles that you can move the other units that you get onto for them to be safe, because the enemies start out on this whole area and only on the first turn is this area safe. And once they start closing in, you better hope to take them all out, because they will target the weaker units. The level where you get Veer and Sully, yeah, that's the one with the Risen. That's chapter 1 is what that is. You can't have them fight either. They get one-shotted, so you can't let them fight. Same with all the new units in chapter 2. Chapter 2 is where you get Muriel, Stahl, and Vake, and you have to have all of them run, basically. Imagine that one being hard. But yeah, so all the enemies start out like that, and you're here, and they will close in on you immediately. So if you haven't positioned yourselves in like ways that they, like this area down here is safe only for turn 1, and then it's not anymore, and then they'll target weaker units, and you basically want to slowly push your way into the corner with other units, and sometimes it's not possible. Now, the thing about this level is you want to be as defensive as you can. That's why you raise the defense of Robin so much beforehand. You want to make him like a second Frederick. Now, the thing about Luna Plus, like annulling your defense and being a guaranteed Luna, is you have to reset this level like 20 times before you can even attempt it anytime. Because there's 2 areas to the map. So there's like phase 1, the bottom area, then there's a bridge that isn't too hard, and then there's the areas at the top with like the boss at the end. If there are more than 3 enemies on the top or the bottom that have Luna Plus, reset, you don't have a chance. You have to try it again. There's no way that you can do it if there's more than 3 enemies on either side of the bridge that have Luna Plus. It's only if there's less than that on either side that you even have a chance, and then you try, and even then you barely have any chance of winning. I think that took me like 3 weeks to beat that level after my Robin had gained like plus 10 defense in the first couple chapters. It's awful. Chapter 2 Shepherds is literally the definition of Lunatic Plus Classic mode. Chapter 3 takes quite a few resets and takes quite a while, nothing near Shepherds though, and then 4 is like easy money, and then you have access to DLC, and then you just coast through the rest of the game with Robin as a Nosferatu sorcerer tank. That's Lunatic Plus Classic rant.
You came to see me.
Oh, autoplay on, because I was doing voice acting before.
He's been bouncing off the walls ever since this morning when he heard you were coming.
He isn't always this way?
No. Since you left, he's been moody most of the time.
Is that true, Egil?
Mrs. Goodman is very good to me, and this place is amazing.
Well, we have another place we want to take you now.
I still want to travel with you.
Hey, Egil. Can I tell you something? It's about a captain of
Ermonge,
guard who lived in a far-off land. He died in battle, fighting, to protect his kingdom.
Just like my mother and father.
And this man's father, he lies sick in bed at the shock of his loss. The captain's father has been of great help to all of us. We owe him a great deal. I was thinking, if you would spend some time with the captain's father, I believe it might help him get better. What do you think, Egil?
What? So you didn't come to ask me to go with you? That's a shame. Okay, I'll do it. I can't say no to you.
Thank you so much, Egil.
If this is Egil's decision, I won't stop him. But you come back anytime you want, okay?
I will. Thanks for everything, Mrs. Goodman.
Anyway, some of the later levels of Fire Emblem Fates Conquest Lunatic Classic are pretty absurd as well, to the point where I couldn't beat the second last chapter at all without losing a unit, but it does not even, it's nothing compared to Awakening Lunatic Plus Classic mode, the first few chapters. Anyway. Something on your mind, Tiz? You look pensive. Oh, yeah, a bit, I guess. Thinking about Egil? Just gotten settled at the Goodmans, and now he's being shipped off to a foreign land. Yeah, there's that too. That too? You mean Eleanor, don't you? Yes, 2 of them had decided to take him in, and now they had just enough time together to make it painful to part. I feel terrible. I feel the same. She mustered a smile to see him off, but inside? Can't be helped, I'm afraid. We can encourage him to write to her once he's settled in Kaldisla. I wouldn't mind ferrying the boy to the Goodmans every once in a while either. Oh, seconded. And aren't we forgetting someone here? We brought the boy along on a lot of good intentions and not much planning. What happens if the innkeep says no? It all hinges on him. We might have a backup plan. Let's pay the king a visit before the two of them meet. Alrighty. But yeah, the second last chapter of Fire Emblem Fates Conquest, Lunatic Classic, so difficult. It might have been more difficult than the final level, actually. Now, my strongest unit was my own character, Corrin, who's a dragon. So of course, when the first room opens up, all the soldiers there are equipped with dragon slaying swords. What a great time that is. And then the dude who can reach all the way across the map is Iago with his ultra debuff staff that just condemns anyone to death, pretty much, who gets his debuffs. Because there go all their attack power and all their offenses, and then anything will 1 to 2 shot them, pretty much. So I literally couldn't beat that level. I couldn't even come close to beating that level until I lost a unit, which was Percy, the guy who voices Pit. So I made it through my Conquest Lunatic Classic playthrough with Percy dead. So yeah. Also, for the final chapter of that game is divided into 2 parts. One where you have to go beat Garen, and then the second one where it's the true final boss, who I guess I won't spoil here in case I ever do play it. I don't know if I ever will, but the thing about going and beating Garen is there are so many foes that spawn from the 6 rooms that are around the whole thing when Garen's right there. And there's teleporters that you can use to get between rooms. So what I had to do to beat it is I had to change the class of my S support to a dark flyer, so they had the highest movement speed possible, or movement area possible, and gave them both my boots, I think I had, to increase their movement to 10 tiles. And I just went from teleporter to teleporter, avoiding all the enemies that I could, and just going straight over to Garen and killing him. That is the only way that I could beat that level. And then the actual final boss was something pretty similar, where it's every unit around me, tank as hard as you can and escort me there to beat the true final boss. Man, oh man, it was not fun. I remember Birthright Lunatic Classic being similarly difficult. That was the thing that I played through first. But then about a year ago, I played through Birthright Lunatic Classic again, and I was like, wow, that really wasn't actually that hard. Why did I think it was so hard the first time? But yeah, Conquest Lunatic Classic is awful. And Fire Emblem Awakening Lunatic Classic is the most difficult game I have ever played for the first 4 chapters. Specifically Chapter 2. I never want to do that again in my life. Roller Coaster Tycoon World is nothing. It is less than 1% of the suffering that I get from playing Fire Emblem Awakening Lunatic Plus Classic. You can't even compare the two to each other, honestly. Lunatic Plus Classic, Fire Emblem Awakening, something that I never plan on doing again. Ever. Say what? Tell you what. If I ever somehow get partnered on Twitch, I'll do a playthrough of Fire Emblem Awakening on Lunatic Plus Classic difficulty. You heard it today. That's what'll happen if I ever somehow manage to get partnered on Twitch. Lunatic Plus Classic playthrough.
That about sums it up.
As if it'll ever happen.
What do you think, Your Majesty?
A fine idea, I must say. I have been concerned about the innkeep myself. Egil, it is admirable of you to agree to follow in the innkeep's footsteps. The kingdom of Kaldisla welcomes you.
You see, I want to be a powerful soldier one day, like my mother and father before me, like Tiz. I want to be a mighty warrior with a kind heart who can protect the ones he loves.
Well said, well said. Fine sentiments for a boy to have. Very well then. You shall be given access to our training hall, Egil. and I would be honored if you would accept this gift.
Whoa!
What is it?
I don't know.
A badge we give our young soldiers. My captain of the guard, Owen, also wore one once. This marks you as an apprentice soldier for the kingdom, Eggle. I hope to see you train hard and become a first-rate soldier.
Wow! Thank you!
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Highness.
By the way, Tiz, how is the reconstruction of Narende village proceeding?
I haven't done any of that.
With all your travels to save the world from peril, you must
Oh,
find
no.
little
I've
time
been found
to
out.
return, no? Perhaps you could put Eggle here in charge of the reconstruction?
Reconstruction?
You would be acting on Tiz's behalf.
I'll do it!
Are you sure you can handle all of this at once?
It involves a blood sacrifice.
Helping out at the inn, training to be a soldier, and supervising the reconstruction?
That it involves playing
That's a
Fire Emblem
lot to
Awakening
take
on
on.
Lunatic Plus Classic.
No sweat for me!
You have unlimited potential, Eggle. When the time comes, you shall choose your own path. Until then, be fearless and follow your heart wherever it may take you.
Right now, it takes me over there.
Thank you!
Oh no, why does the inn do this? Oh no. Why is it the inn? What is wrong with the inn in this game? Oh. Oh. What is with the inn? Oh. Ah, you have a young boy with you. And what's this? A little badge. Like, what is wrong with the inn? It didn't lag when we were here at the beginning of this playthrough. Why is it now? He wears the badge of a young soldier. That takes me back. My son treasured his badge above all else. You remind me of him a bit, you know? I want to be like your son Owen one day. My mother and father were guards as well. You don't say. I'm sure you'll get there one day. Oh, it's so slow. Oh, normal speed. What is with the inn? Audio on, please. So you returned, Alternus.
Not long ago.
I was told you have an urgent report. Can it not wait until the Council of Six convenes?
No, it cannot. It appears the fire crystal has been awakened. The remaining Black Blades continue to fight alongside the Sword Bearers. However, no word has come from Commander Kami Izumi. It seems that morale is plummeting.
I hit the wrong key. I was trying to hit my unmute hotkey and say, yeah, I murdered him.
All-out defense of the Earth Crystal. We must cut our losses in that realm.
You propose that we abandon the Black Blades? The forces of the Duchy's 1st Division?
We have underestimated the Wind Vestal. We shall not make that mistake again. You or I. If the Earth Crystal were to be awakened, there would no longer be hope for this world, and our ideals would fade to nothingness.
But the Wind Vessel has no way of traversing the highlands that surround the Duchy. Only the heavy airships helmed by Arcadre have the propulsion necessary to make the journey.
Do not be so sure. The Wind Vestal has thus far outmatched us at every turn. Summon Victor and Victoria immediately.
Summon Carvia.
The Council of Six
Say
may
Pikachu
have
3 times, like what happened in Marshall Monkey's stream.
Allow me to interrupt.
I don't know where I recognize that voice from. Wait a second. Maybe I might just recognize that voice from earlier in the game, honestly, because I think I know who that is. Oops. What is with the end? Off. Oh my goodness, that hurts the ears so badly. What the heck? Oh man. I'm glad the innkeep was willing to take in Egil. Egil said he looks so much like his late grandfather, it's scary. Enough about that. We must go to awaken the Earth Crystal. But we have no way of entering the Duchy of Eternia. Perhaps it's time to get out that creepy journal of yours. Ring a bell? I'd hardly call it creepy. Anyway, I'll see what I can find. There are a few notes that might apply. Earth Crystal, Grand Ship, Engine Room. Those are the words that seem to be coming up. Grand Ship? Perhaps we'll find a lead there. Oh, it's so slow. Can I please get out of this inn as fast as I can? Oh, get out of here! It's a trap! Oh, that inn is evil. Oh, that inn is so evil. My goodness.
Nagel.
Whoa! Nagel. It sounded like she said, or something like that. Wait, am I healed? Oh. Oh no. Oh no. But I want to heal. Oh, why does the inn do? Why is it only the inn? It wasn't like this the last time we were here. At like the beginning of the game. And then it shoots up to full speed. What the heck? Okay, we gotta get out of this inn right now. Out. Oh my goodness. Whew. Oh, we're free. Free from that prison. Oh my goodness. How awful. Jeez. How atrocious. You give that in 1 star. Yeah, how awful. Do I want to go get that asterisk over there? Screw it, we're doing it. We're in it for the long haul this time with Bravely Default. But yeah, I know that there's some people who might like to catch up on some of the things that have been missed, so maybe after this we shouldn't stream Bravely Default for at least a little while. There are a couple other playthroughs that we still have to finish off. Like, we did one part of Captain Toad Treasure Tracker and then didn't continue, but the one episode we did like the whole first book, and I think there's like 3 books total, so we can probably do it in like 2 more streams, or just like 1 really long stream. And there's also Super Mario Party, where we just need to win like 2 of the kind of co-op board things, and then that'll be done, I'm pretty sure.